we worked out all the time together. And my coach was so cool because basics were so part of the game. And I would see all these guys play, and it was always about running up and down and dunking. And he would be like, all right, Jay, like, let's do ball handling. And I would do it with like the girls.
Yeah.
Right. And like some of the girls, I'm like, yo, their handle's better than mine.
Yeah.
Like, I need to work on my shit.
She talks about all the time how like the WNBA fundamentals are.
It's just better. I mean,
yeah, it's better.
But it has to be.
It has
like
to
you
be.
guys are just way more athletic, where we have to have our fundamentals. All right, we're going to switch a little bit.
Oh.
You have been super outspoken about the WNBA, which big fan.
Let's go, Jay.
Yeah, just give us your thoughts and why. Like, why do you care so much? Because there's a lot of people in your position who, they just want to stick on the men's side, but you have been a big supporter of us. So thank you.
My pleasure. I mean, you're human beings.
Yeah, thank you.
You're human beings, and you play a sport that is growing immensely.
Yep.
And sharing a piece of the pie is critical. I think for a multitude of reasons. I think number one, like growing up, I played. One of the first coaches I ever had, his name was Rich Leary, and he coached his team, the New Jersey Demons. Oh. And we had a girl on our team named Asia Jones, and Asia played at UConn.
Yeah, I was going to say, why do I know that
and
name?
She was an absolute savage, and we worked out all the time together. And my coach was so cool because basics were so part of the game. And I would see all these guys play, and it was always about running up and down and dunking. And he would be like, all right, Jay, like, let's do ball handling. And I would do it with like the girls.
Yeah.
Right. And like some of the girls, I'm like, yo, their handle's better than mine.
Yeah.
Like, I need to work on my shit.
She talks about all the time how like the WNBA fundamentals are.
It's just better. I mean,
yeah, it's better.
But it has to be.
It has
like
to
you
be.
guys are just way more athletic, where we have to have our fundamentals.
So I learned that at a young age. And I think just being around a lot of women's players, like I would hear all these stories. Like when I was in college, like I would listen to Sue, like Sue Bird talk about like going over and what she had to do going overseas. Yeah. Like DT is an absolute beast. And I would watch Taurasi tell stories about going overseas. I'm like, wait, they can just cut your contract. And she's like, yeah, they just cut our contract whenever. I would hear all these stories and I'm like, yo, this is just wild. I'm like, you're here and you play here for several amount of months and then you go over there because you can make 3-4x with it. That's the way they treat you over there. Yeah. It's just, so as you watch this sport grow and grow and grow, like, and also like, I'll be real with you guys, like I've always been passionate about it. And then like, my oldest like is starting to love basketball.
Yeah.
She loves basketball, right? So you start thinking about the future of the sport. I already thought about it that way. Yeah. But now like when I take my daughter to a Liberty game and you're like, yeah. So like, oh, I have a platform. Yeah. And for me, like, once again, I don't like to see anybody taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, like we're just going to dive into the subject and I'm going to stand up for what I think is right.
Yeah.
And I was glad that you guys decided to take a stand.
Yeah.
Because at some point, you have to be the advocate for yourself.
Yep.
Right? Because in any big business, they're going to keep they say they're going to do the right thing, but they're in the business to make profit.
Money. Yeah.
To make profit.
Like, I appreciate it. And I think that it's really cool. And we talked a little bit about it with Allison Feaster when she was talking, because she's with the Boston Celtics. She does stuff with their front office. And she was like, I love that you're hearing more. Kobe kind of started the trend of it, I would say, the orange sweatshirt. But like all the NBA guys and people who play at a high level, they love our sport and they respect it. It's cool when you see someone with your background, your platform, and now you have a daughter and you're just even more invested, because hopefully us players now, when it's her time to shine, it's way better than we could have ever imagined. You know what I mean? And so I think every little piece is important. And the CBA, it was super important. It was huge. And we fought for, our revenue share was the biggest thing. Our salary cap is way better.
So it's interesting, like how the public frames something as opposed to what it actually is, right? Yes. So like a lot of times for the W, it's I hear this come up a lot in commentary. Well, like the NBA subsidizes, right? And you're like, oh, like that's an investment. Like it should, right? And the NBA is looking to get that investment back. And as you see this asset continue to grow and grow, that's why the media rights deal was better. Yeah. Right? So I think you're starting to see, and one of the things I hear a lot on is like academies. Like, I really think, guys, that we're moving toward a day and age. Like, I sit on the board for Overtime Elite. It's a really big conversation.
Oh, like sports academies?
Yes.
Oh.
I think it's a really big, and I think in particular for women's basketball, it's going to become bigger and bigger and bigger.
Wait, I love this.
Right?
Dave's dad coached at Overtime Elite. Do you know David Lato?
Yeah. David Lato used to be the assistant coach at UConn.
Yeah.
That's
my
one of his best friend's dad.
Friend. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Because he was at Mizzou for a while,
UConn.
so Dave went to
Rockbridge,
our high
where
school.
we went to high school.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love Dave Lato.
Yeah.
It's my all-time. Please tell him I said it loud.
I absolutely will.
So it's interesting, like when we talk about kids getting paid, right? It's such a polarizing topic in college. A lot of people say, well, it takes away from the sport. I'm like, okay, well, it's been taken away from, has it been taken away from tennis?
Yeah.
Has it been taken away from golf, like has been taken away from overseas. Like everybody gets into a conversation around Luka right now and his hamstring, right? And they talk, I talk a lot about as an athlete, habits.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you become a pro and you don't know what you don't know. Like now as a coach, I can mold your habits.
Yeah.
Right. Luka's been a pro since he's been 14 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Valid.
So a lot of his habits are habits that he's not going to change.
Yeah.
And he's been rewarded for those habits over and over.
Right.
So, you know, in Europe, this is a common thing.
Yeah.
You could be a pro when you're 14. Look at all these academies in soccer.
Well, when you are like a pro, they have kids who are 13, 14 that are kind of like our practice players who do get paid, and then they're just like developing them then to take our spots.
Yes.
So it's smart. It's
happening.
smart. Yeah.
So I look at this as trade school. And I think it's
Yep.
going to start happening. It's the same way when you think about in 5 years, where are going to be some of the highest paying jobs, like plumbers.
Yep.
Nobody wants to. So like at some point when you get your education, you guys both graduate from school, you're like, what did I major in?
Yeah.
Like, is it actually applicable to like anything I'm doing right now? If you want to be involved in sports, if you're a young girl, you want to be a WNBA player, doesn't it make sense for you to learn about the business of basketball? You could be an agent. You could be a GM.
Yes.
You could be a president. You can be a lawyer for somebody.
Yep.
There's so many different jobs
So then
that
these
come from the
academies would
sport.
be not just training, but educational as well.
1
the
million
whole
%.
time.
You're going to
Okay.
change the whole curriculum.
Because the only reason why, and I know I speak for probably a lot of people, we knew that there were overseas players who didn't go to college because they were already getting paid. The only reason why I truly went to college is because that was the next step in America to become a WNBA player, to become a
Right.
pro.
Right.
But also to your point, and I think social media, there's good things about it, there's bad things about it, but I also think that it's shown a lot of, I'm speaking on the female side of things, those types of jobs. Like growing up, I had no idea. I was like, oh, GM. Had no idea that we could do that. You know what I mean? You know nothing about it. They don't tell you anything about it. And so I feel like you go to college and you have to, in the sports world, it's either you're playing or you're, I don't know, you just don't get taught the sports business as much as I wish you would.
So I just got done speaking to USA basketball, like Jim Tooley and Sean Ford, they run
Yeah.
the men's program, and I would do it with the women's too. So I got a chance to be there 3 days ago and literally asked them, they had like 40 players in a room. And I was like, okay, cool. Who in here wants to be top 10 NBA draft pick? Everybody raise their hand.
Yeah.
Who in here wants to be the first pick taken in the draft? Everybody raise their hand. So I picked on one kid. I'm like, hey, you stand up. He's like, great. He said his name. I'm like, all right, you want to be the first pick in the draft? He said, yes, sir. I said, cool. How much does the first pick in the draft make? He was like, I'm like, how do you want to be the first pick in the draft and you don't know what the first pick in the draft makes? How much is your contract inflated by on
Yeah.
an annual basis?
No one knows anything.
I don't know anything. And so then I take you to the exercise. I'm like, let's say you made $1 million, right? You're 21 years old. You made
Yep.
$1 million, right? Okay, great. You got drafted by Miami. You both live in Miami, right?
Yeah.
Where are you going to live?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'm going to live in my own high rise. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, how much are you going to spend for your apartment? He's like, $200,000. I was like, $200,000?
No.
That doesn't get you anything in Miami?
No.
Yeah.
He's like, $800,000. I'm like, all right, cool. What kind of car are you going to
Yes,
drive?
yes.
And he's like, I'll probably get like a Bentley. I'm like, all right, that's $250,000.
Yeah.
I'm like, your mom and dad, have they been there for you your whole life? He's like, yeah. I'm like, how much are you going to spend in their house? He's like,
Yeah.
$1 million. I'm like, yo,
You're
you're
out of money.
already
You're already in debt.
over.
You're in
And
debt.
you're only netting $600,000.
Bigger picture, would this be so that people don't have to also then waste money on other people to manage their money if people just knew how to do it? Because
At least know how to ask the right questions.
or the right
first.
questions.
Facts.
Yeah.
And I think like we in our high school, which is crazy, we had financial advising, which was nice. And I think everyone should have to take that, especially kids who are getting paid that type of money. Take the financial courses, like know where your money's going, know the tax. Like another thing I didn't know, everywhere we play, you get taxed in that state.
Yeah.
Like you get taxed
That's
in
crazy.
every state because we're an entertainment business. And so it's just like little things like that. And
Someone
It's all
knows.
applicable though. It's like when I go on the road and I use my points, my Marriott, like Bomboy, like reward points. Like, so ESPN is putting me on the road all the time. I'm like, oh, I get a chance to stay at Marriott.
Yep.
I'll stay here,
Yep.
give them my number, get my points. And
Yep.
then when the season's over, I'm like, I could take my family on a vacation.
Boom.
It's about learning how to utilize your resources.
Yes.
But you have to know they're there. You have to be disciplined with
Facts.
it. But these are things that people have to teach you how to do.
Yes.
If not, they just go unnoticed.
Yeah.
1,000%. God, that's good.
Hey Jay, we love you so much.
We do.
We're
This
not
has
going
been
to
great.
I appreciate you
because you have
guys.
so much stuff to do today.
You do.
Can I
He's
tell
here
you guys,
for business.
You guys are both like rock stars.
Thanks.
Seriously.
Thank you.
Thank
Like,
you.
keep doing your thing and keep being yourselves.
Thank you.
It cuts through.
Thank you so much for watching Live from the Bracket with Show Me Something podcast.
Thank you to Marriott, our guest, and you fans.
See you next year.
Woo!